Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and we're live for the Champions League. It's Arsenal against Real Madrid. Jeopardy is here. This is football, isn't it? This is what it's all about. Who you got, Real Madrid or Arsenal? We'll do a little bit of poll. Who gets through? That's what it's called. That's what we're going to say. And it will be Arsenal or Real Madrid. I actually want Arsenal to get through. I don't want them to win it, but I want them to get through. And I'll tell you why. I do like Real Madrid, and if they were to win this game, I would go look at the quality of Real Madrid. But I do think they win the Champions League a lot, and not wanting to offend Real Madrid fans because they are a fantastic side, and I'm really looking forward to watching them. It would be nice to get a different winner, I think. I don't want Arsenal to win it, but I'd like them to knock Real Madrid out, and then it would be really exciting for like PSG, maybe a Villa, maybe an Inter, maybe Barcelona. I've seen win it before, but look, maybe that's a stretch. Maybe Madrid will win it, and if they do win it, they'll deserve to win it. It's absolutely fine. But look, we'll go through the team news in a minute. It's flashing around the screen for you. But yeah, big Champions League night. It's the big one. It's the tie of the round. We'll also be keeping an eye on Bayern against Inter because this game's on Amazon Prime, so it's easy to be TNTing it with that and then Amazon Priming it with this. Yeah, let me know your thoughts because I think this is one of the biggest games of the season. I love the Champions League when it gets to the last 8. Obviously, we've lost some teams already of notoriety, none more so than Liverpool, but this is what we go through the season for. This is what all the games in September, October, November, and now January and December are all about. This is it, the final 8, the reckoning of what the Champions League is all about, and we're very, very excited for it. So that's your Real Madrid side. Lost at the weekend against Valencia. Courtois is back. He didn't play. Valverde, Asensio, not the one that's Aston Villa, by the way. Rudiger, Alaba. Very good big names there, really. Rodrigo, Modric, Camavinga, Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinicious Junior. It's scintillating. If that doesn't excite you as a football fan, then, get out and watch rugby because that is a hell of a side. Rudiger, Alaba, Courtois, Rodrigo, Modric, Camavinga, Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinicious Junior. I mean, look, they might have lost to Valencia at the weekend, but that is a side. That is a side. Arsenal, Raya, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, and Lewis Skelly. Odegaard, Partey, Rice, Saka, Martinelli, Moreno. It ain't Real Madrid's 11, but it's about as strong as they can go. I'm really excited about this one. How do you approach it if you're Arsenal? It's a great question. I've been thinking about it for a few days. I think you gotta be. You can't take it to the Bernabeu. Like you can't have any regrets. You've got to try and win the game at the Emirates. You've got to go to Bernabeu and then be attacking you. You've got to try and win the game. You got to try and win it 1-0, whatever, and then in Madrid, they've got to attack. Defensively, they're not as good as they are offensively. And then you look to hit them on the break. So, yeah, I think Arsenal have got to go for it. It's difficult, because it's always going to be half-time at the end of the first game. So, how do you do it? But, yeah. Madrid's defence is overrated, says Petco. Madrid are massively overpriced at 5-2. God knows how, says Robert McCormack. And Keel Robinson says Arsenal 3-0. Well, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that pans out. The bloody hell's going on here? Get the screen on. There we go. Arsenal won't be the bookies' favourites, will they, Harry? I don't think they will. Who is your favourite football player right now in the world? Vinicious Junior. I've said that for a couple of years. Yeah. Modric is 39, says YouTube. And Viva Barca says going for it. Right, okay, make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, get involved. I've just realised I need to get the timer ready because it's probably red from last game. What's your prediction? I need to watch 20 minutes. I need to watch 20 minutes. I mean, look, I'll give you a prediction. Of course, I'll give you a prediction, but I do need to watch the game. And why the hell? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. I do need to watch the game, and just the big thing for me is understanding the skill levels. Like, it's difficult to know what the Premier League is comparable to the La Liga. So that, to me, is a big, big thing. Let's lock that there. There we go. We're good to go. Yeah, because look, Barcelona are a great side. They're probably going to win the Premier League. Inter are going to win the Italian League. Bayern are going to win the German League. PSG are going to win the French League. Arsenal aren't going to win the Premier League, but is second place in the Premier League better than second place in La Liga? So, you know, these are the things that we're sort of looking at and trying to establish. I don't think we can significantly call out the loss of Gabriel too much because people have injuries. I'm sure Real Madrid, Carvajal's out, isn't he, as well? He's a big player for them. So, you know, it is what it is. You'd expect at this stage of the season you might be missing a player or two. And you could argue that Arsenal are better with Moreno up front than they are Havertz anyway. Arsenal, whether Havertz is fit or not, Arsenal need a top-class striker. So Gabriel is a big loss. I think the biggest loss for Gabriel is, yes, one, his defensive capabilities, but two, his his defensive capabilities, but also his ability on a corner, you know. So this is one of my birthday treats from yesterday that my daughter bought me about 10 cans of Guinness Zero. So I didn't get to have it for my birthday because I was in London last night. So I'm going to sit and have one with you, fantastic people, tonight. Maybe more than one, but I do like Guinness Zero. I had this conversation. Look, I was brave enough on stage in front of 1,000 people in Dublin to argue the case of Guinness Zero. So I do quite like it. I think it actually is the best non-alcoholic drink you can get that's closest to the real thing. And anyway, they were bought for me by my daughter as a birthday present. So yeah, that's why they're non-alcoholic. I didn't go down the shop and go, give me Guinness Zero. I would have probably bought Guinness, but it was a present, and I will happily drink them with you tonight. Right, we're out ready to go. Make sure you get your comments in. Real Madrid, 70%. I'm going Arsenal over 2 legs. We're up and running. There we go. The timer's up and running. Might be a mistake. We'll see. I'm really intrigued. To see what it is. Of course, how much respect will Arsenal give to Real Madrid as well is a big factor. Are they going to give them loads of respect? Are they going to be aggressive? Are they going to be confident? Are they going to sit back? These things are, all questions that we need to answer. Real Madrid playing in their grey kit, of course. Oh, a little bit of a slip there. Mbappe, he's going to shoot early on, straight at Raya. But looks a little bit, I don't know whether it's just my screen, but it looks a little bit misty in London, and it's not misty, so I don't know whether it might just be the camera. Happy belated birthday, Mark. Good luck to Arsenal, as my twin brother is a big supporter, says Ian J. White. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. I'm going to close the poll on who's going to win it, because 70%, we've started the game now, so 70% of you have gone with Real Madrid. 5 Cantona says, Phil's mum gets a week off. Can't see them last 8. Is that? Mohammed says, what's your thoughts on Inter versus Bayern? I have got it on, so I will be keeping an eye on that one as well. I think Inter. This first leg is in Germany as well, so I think Inter. But again, it's a hunch. Are the German champions, or elect champions, better than the Italian champions elect? I always say this, it's really hard to predict, because how strong is the Bundesliga this year compared to the Italian league? How strong is the Premier League this year compared to La Liga? Let's see. Here's Odegaard, gets it out wide. Saka back, obviously, is a big thing for Real Madrid, but for Arsenal, but how fit is he? Arsenal with some early possession. They'll be happy about this. Getting a bit of confidence going. Odegaard. But they've lost it now. Bayern are missing Musiala and Davies. But Mike says Bayern are going to smash it. There's a free kick right on the edge of the box here for Saka. My hot take, Villa have bigger chance than Arsenal to advance. Villa has the manager that has proven it in Europe and the starting 11 in depth to advance as a Toro. Look, we'll watch Villa PSG tomorrow, and I do want Villa to do well, but based on their first half against Forest on Saturday, I'd go, oh, they've got a great chance. Based on their second half, I'm like, I've seen PSG play Man City and Liverpool, and they will take those chances. So, yeah, we'll see. JM says, only get the Neville advert on your vids. Yeah, I think we've got like Marriott Hotels sponsoring us at the moment via YouTube ads, which you can do. If you're a brand, a big brand, and you want to have your brand played in front of certain YouTubers, you can do that. It happened to us in the Euros with Coke Zero. So, you know, I think that's what's happening from what people are saying. PSG is so good this year, says YouTube. Cross comes in, cleared away by Madrid. This is a good start by Arsenal. Oh, no. What a bad ball that was by Saka. It's going to be a 2v1. It's Vinicious Junior, and it's a good bit of defending by Saliba. He tried to get it across to Mbappe, and it would have been a tap-in. They've got to be very, very careful of those breakaways because it's a loose pass by Saka, and it actually ends up with what would have been a 2-1. Look where Mbappe is. If they'd have put the cross in, it would have been problems, but... yeah, well cleared by Saliba. Yeah, Inter have started off quite well here against Bayern. I've got it on that screen, but here we go, Arsenal. I don't think... Yeah, Saka does look like he's limping. I saw this against Everton, Mac. I don't know whether we've got any Arsenal fans who can let us know, but I don't know whether it's just the recovery from the injury or he always ran like that. I've never noticed it before, but look, against Everton, he looked like he was running with a limp. Benjamin says, what's your thoughts on your minifigure? It was a joke. It's amazing how many people fell for that. It was a joke. It was a bloody chat GBT prompt. It wasn't even genuine. We're not doing a... I mean, the reality is a lot of people did say, where can I buy one? So, you know, somebody somewhere would buy one, but yeah, it was a joke. I'd buy one. I love those little collectibles. Ooh! Cross came in from Saka. Really crap cross, to be honest with you, but... for some reason, it got stuck under the feet of Rudiger, and he kicked it onto Camavinga, and it nearly went in. It's gone for a corner. Now, Arsenal are good at corners, but they don't have Gabriel. Is your nose running, Mark? No, I'm feeling a lot better. This is the first day I felt close to being back. Just did the United Stand show at 7. It's the best show I've done in about 5 days. I just felt better. And, yeah, I'm still a bit croaky, but, yeah, feeling a lot better now. Good corner! And palmed away by Courtois. Do you think Villa are going to buy Rashford, says Liam? No. No, I think PSG or Barcelona is more likely. I think Villa's problem's going to be is they're going to need Champions League to do it. And I'd say the chances of them getting Champions League are limited, to be honest. RFA says he's at the stadium. Good cross again! Oh, I thought it had gone in. It was one of those corners from Arsenal that you're just waiting to see it hit the net. And they couldn't quite get the touch on it. It was another good corner from Saka, but it's Real Madrid on the attack now. Bayern have just had a shot that's just gone wide of the post, by the way. Elise. Yeah, you know when I watch Arsenal and I see corners from Saka and Rice and I look at United's corners, just crap. I think Odegaard is overrated, says Paul. As a cam, his discipline is very good, but skill-wise, he's crap. If he was as good as everyone says, he'd be playing for a big club like Man United. Bruno is better. Okay, Paul. Do you think Atletico Madrid will buy Anthony, says Nath Footy? I think if he keeps doing well, there will be interest in him in the summer, yeah. Philippe says, I'm from Poland. What are your thoughts on Kivior playing today? It's a big game for him, mate. Obviously, Calafiori's been injured a lot, hasn't he, in the his first season? Is he going to be back before the end of the season? Oh, what a ball that is. Moreno was moving, but Rice's cross didn't find him. And Madrid breaking away again. They want to use... It's Mbappe. Alaba. Here's Vinicious Junior. And he went for a shot that's gone wide. Been a quick 8 minutes. It has. It's an intriguing game. Philippe says his name's Philip. Okay, thank you. Well, look, I think this is it was a great chance for Partey, and it hit Saliba on the head. Very, very unlucky there. Yeah, I think PSG Villa will be a great game tomorrow because I think they both like to attack. So I think it will be a really good game. But obviously the status of this game is bigger. Do you think any of the players watched Baller League? I think a professional footballer on a Monday night, if they've got nothing else to do, would probably watch Baller League over Leicester Newcastle, to be honest with you. Arsenal just knocking the ball around a bit here. It's been a good start by Arsenal, but obviously the threat has been there from Real Madrid on the break. Look, it's only 10 minutes in, but this is why I say you learn the difference between the Premier League and La Liga when you play each other. I would say based on the first 10 minutes, obviously home advantage for Arsenal. It's different than playing in Madrid. But Arsenal don't look inferior or in fear of Madrid so far. Pedro says, Paul, better first season as coach, Slot or Flick, says Pedro. I like it. I like that, Paul, a lot. We'll do it. Better first season. Thanks to everyone who's watching, by the way. Please share the video. Better first season. On your socials. Flick or Slot. Get bought in. There's a GOAT manager as well, Ancelotti. Everyone loves Ancelotti, don't they? I mean, he's just... Ancelotti is just loved by everybody, isn't he? I don't think even Liverpool fans dislike Ancelotti, and he managed Everton. That's the way to live your life, isn't it? Like, whatever Ancelotti's got, you want that. Because he just commands universal respect. How do you be Ancelotti in life? You know, everybody just likes you. Ayima says, Mark showing his Premier League bias like Madrid didn't send City home and PSG sent Liverpool home. At what point have you put those words into your head that I didn't say? At what point have I said Real Madrid are going to lose this game because the Premier League's the best league in the world? You've clearly not been here for the last 15 minutes, have you? Did you chat to Bez at the Ballers League? I didn't know he was there last night, mate. Lovely turn. Out wide to Martinelli. It's been a good start by Arsenal. Martinelli into the box. Looks for the cross. Oh, lays it off. Bang! Oh, Courtois makes the save. Good chance. Partey went for placement. Maybe should have blasted it. But it's been a good start by Arsenal. I'll tell you what, if they could get the first goal, the dynamic of the game changes as well. Real Madrid would have to change their plan. That's going to be a corner to Real Madrid. Quick counter. Bojam says, Madrid do the best away kits. It's simple but iconic. I think Madrid do nice kits, full stop. Corner to Real Madrid, their first one. Thanks for the super chat, Bojam. Still 0-0 between Bayern and Inter, by the way. 59% of you are saying Flick's had a better first season than Slot. I mean, obviously, you're probably right, to be fair, because they're both going to win the domestic league. But they have the opportunity. That's not a penalty. There's a potential penalty check here for a handball. We are in Europe, though. And we are in London, aren't we? But that's not a penalty. No way. His hand's in a natural position. Let's have a look. Cross comes in. No. What's he supposed to do? That's not a penalty. Declan Rice has hit it at him from a yard away. That is never a penalty. Yeah, they've not given it. Play on. Common sense. You never know in Europe, but that's not a penalty. I've seen them given in Europe as well, but the reason that's not a penalty is because Declan Rice is kicking the ball to the hand from a metre away. You can't do, you know, it's natural arm movement. You can't do anything about that. I've played the game. This is lovely. It's all lovely. The football, 2 matches, the chat, the Guinness Zero. It's just lovely, lovely. Loving it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Shearer is so dull on comms, says John T. We did try and get one of those 3 to come on Baller League and into our booth yesterday. It was a no. Miserable. Miserable. You know, Ginge came in. Maya Jama came in. Mini Minter came in twice. PK Humble came in. You know, no, it's a no from them. Get rid of them for next year. I'll take on their team. And I don't know why they want to deport Rio either. That's why they won't come in, because I'll ask them, why are you called Deport Rio? What has he done? What do you think of Brazil banning standing on the ball? What does that even mean, CR7 edits? Anyway, look, this is football. I think the Premier League is, unless it's your team at the moment, the Premier League is a little bit, you know, end of season vibes. Although the race for top 5 is interesting. But this is Jeopardy football, isn't it? This is the Champions League. This is what it's all about. Real Madrid just passing the ball around the back at the moment. Nice little ball out wide. I tell you what, if we get the rest of the 2 games like this, it's quite on a knife edge at the moment. It's the same between Bayern and Inter. They're both quite evenly matched. I mean, imagine if both games are like this tomorrow as well. We're only in the quarter-final stage, semi-final, final. Where's the final this year? Flick has beaten Slot. I'm going to close that poll. Ancelotti or Pep, Paul, says John. Okay, well, we'll just do a straight up either or on that. Pep or Ancelotti. I should have done it the other way around, really, but there we go. Finals in Germany. Allianz Arena. Bayern. Can you remember when? Oh, I mean, I actually wanted Bayern to win that night, but can you? Oh, you know what? I should have took the piss out. I've spoken to John Terry twice in the last 3 weeks, and I've not mentioned full kit wanker scenario where he didn't play in the final, but then came running out in his kit. But Inter on the attack here. No, I was going to say something. Can you remember when Chelsea won the Champions League final against Bayern Munich in the Allianz? That was amazing. That was amazing. Would you have done that if you'd have been suspended, run out in the full kit? It's the sort of thing I probably would do. I probably respect it in a way, yeah. Look, Scholes and Keane sort of stayed in the background in a suit. But you've either got to own it or be in the background, haven't you? And you might never... He never won the Champions League again. So, what would you do? Would you stand in the background in a suit, a la Keane and Scholes, even though they had a massive part in Man United winning the Champions League, but were suspended for the final? Or would you be there in the full kit, and as soon as the final whistle's gone, you run on and be part of it? I think I would have the full... You know I would have the full kit ready. I was a manager on my FIFA career mode in the full kit. Remember that clip? Bloody hell. What was that all about? Ancelotti, 69% over Pep. So we've had 18 minutes at the Emirates. Very equal game so far. You'd be content if you were Arsenal. You'd probably be content as Real Madrid at the moment. I think the thing I've said so many times, I'm bored of saying it, but I must say it on the live stream, is that if Arsenal had a striker, they'd have a better chance of winning this game. And I know people get bored of that, but how irritating must that be? To know that your club ignored buying something that would have helped you have a better chance of winning this tournament that you've never won. Yeah, it was weird. I used to do FIFA career modes, and there was this glitch where I was the manager, and I was playing Leeds away, and it cut to the touchline, and I was in a full kit instead of my manager stuff. I don't know what that was all about. Nath Footy, I will do a poll on it, yeah. Good idea. Oh, bad pass by Camavinga. Drops to Odegaard. Skips past Camavinga. Referee says play on. Bloody hell. I don't know how that's not a foul there. Those career modes were brilliant. I mean, people keep saying, why don't you do career mode anymore? And part of the reason is it's hard to top what that was for 2 or 3 years. You can't. I could never be that. It could never be that good again. They're getting Gyökeres. They were never going to buy something just for the sake of it in January, says Deeks. I don't think that's still. I don't think that makes it justifiable, mate. What if they get Gyökeres in the summer and never finish second again? Never get to a quarter-final of the Champions League again? You might be an advocate of planning for the future, but I think sometimes you just got to go for it in the now. What was the name of that TUS winger, says Chris? Proctor the Doctor. He had Kent up front, Proctor the Doctor on the wing, and there was a few really, but Hansen at the back. Nice ball into Saka. Oh, just goes on Bienvenido. Real Madrid will bring it out. Bird in midfield. He was shit. He was like a shit Fred. I think Proctor is probably top 3 Premier League wingers of all time. If you know, you know. I watched them all. I watched them all over Christmas because there's a highlights reel of one of the career modes. I bloody loved it. It was great. Took me back to COVID, which I don't want to say was great because people died, but you know, for some people, I speak to people quite regularly who say I bloody loved COVID, and I'm like, you know, people died, mate. Game's just slowed down a little bit here. Bayern have started to go into the ascendancy. They are at home against Inter. Still 0-0 there. I think my best clip for FIFA was actually the one where, and I don't think their dog really had died, but somebody said their dog had died, and I did score a really good goal. I got sent that clip the other day. You know the one where me and Beth are in it, but it's not me and Beth. It's like a... Oh, hold on! Mbappe! Oh, just misses over the bar. I don't know whether he was onside. It was half a chance. Yeah, there's this little clip that always comes around in the summer. It's like it's a barbecue party in somebody's back garden, and they start playing this music, and there's loads of them dancing, and one of them's sort of like going like this, and there's this girl who looks like Beth dancing like that, and then there's this prat who comes out the window, comes out the door going like this, and everyone says it looks like me. It does make me laugh. If you know, you know. Mbappe's not far off with that chance. This is the thing about Mbappe and Real Madrid. It only takes a second. And Timber's injured. Fenix says, could you post it on Twitter? What I could do is like it. If you go, oh no, that doesn't work anymore, does it? I'll retweet it on Twitter now. Let me have a look. Or I can tell you the account. It's on... Timber's down at the moment. Oh, that's all right. The account is... footballfights.com. So I'm at Mark Goldbridge, I think, on Twitter, aren't I? At Mark Goldbridge on Twitter, I am. So I'm just going to retweet this. So if you go to Twitter, it's had 4.5 million views. I've just reposted it. Champions League quarterfinals this week. It's you'll see who Beth is. She's in it in the first 3 seconds, and then I come in on the 7 seconds with the hand in the air at the back. So can't laugh at yourself. What have you got? It isn't me and Beth, by the way. If semi-auto offsides come in with VAR picking up these things the ref miss, what will be the point of linesmen? They'll just be overpaid flag carriers, says Ollie P. Call my brother James a donk, please, Mark, says Red Devil Nation. Chris Peacock was underrated on TUSFC, says Hershey. Rooney versus Suarez, says Alec Miller. Here's Saka. Not a good cross, and Courtois gets hold of it. Arsenal should go get Osman in the summer, says Dead Zone. Yeah, they need a striker. Any surprisingly nice characters at the Baller League, says Connell. Well, let me flip it the other way. There's no. I've not met any knobheads. I suppose some of the knobheads might be the people who won't come and do an interview, but all the ones that have come and spoke to us have been sound. Keane says you look exactly like them on the video. I know, this is why. It surfaces every summer, so I may as well own it. Kane's just missed a sitter. Yeah, Bayern have been doing quite well for the last few minutes. Sorry, I've just lost the live chat there. As long as I keep my eye on the game. Good play by Saliba there. Nice to take it when you're under pressure. Into Odegaard. Plays through the press. Odegaard gives it away. Shane B says, was JT surprisingly nice? Yeah, I had about a 20-minute chat with him before last night. A very interesting chat about the state of modern football. I asked him, like, you know, does he agree with me about football being better 20 years ago? But I'm not going to disclose everything that we said. But yeah, it was a good chat. I think he would have been on the stream, but they had a disappointing result, didn't they? Do a poll, says Callum. Would you rather win the Premier League or the Champions League? Either or. Premier League. Champions League. Good poll. I'll tell you what, I'll answer it when I've had my say. Please share the video if you're watching. Nearly 15,000 watching. Thanks everyone who's getting involved. Fantastic community, that's football. Everybody is welcome. We'll be live for PSG Villa tomorrow night as well. And I'm on the United stand on Thursday night for Lyon. It's not in France. It is in France. Yes, it is. United did. I don't know whether United nearly signed Camavinga, Alex, but it was a player we were linked to. Kane just missed a big chance. He hit the post, as Quinton. I do have it on. Did sort of miss that chance, to be fair, though. It's hard to watch two games in entirety. Terrible ball there from into Saka. Bilal says, did you think the chants about Phil Foden's mum on the derby crossed a line or is acceptable as part of rivalry? I think it depends where you're coming at, mate, here. I've got three takes on this. One, how much are you going to censor football? Like, we will never see Keane Vieira bust up in the tunnel again because they both get 5 match bans. Two, would I do it? No. I wouldn't chant stuff about that, I don't think. 3, do I think it's unacceptable? No. I think it's part of the game. Do you want it stopping? I understand why people might want it stopping, but I think that Phil Foden himself will understand that football fans have always been like this. Mbappe! Big save by Raya! And I'm sure Man City fans have sang stuff about, you know, I know people still shout about Munich, United fans. So, look, I get why people are offended, and obviously I understand that, but at what point do you just completely take out, you know, yeah, Posh Spice got it a lot worse, she did. I just think at some point, oh, he slipped. Well done, Timber. I'll tell you what, I'm going to stick with this for a minute. Mbappe. Still Mbappe. He's going to shoot. No, he's not. He goes to Rodrigo. They're in the box. There's plenty of Arsenal players back, and it's a corner. Apparently, there is some sort of consensus that Keane's best game for United was the 99 semi-final leg against Juventus. Do you agree? Says Forms. Well, I'm old enough to have watched those games, and I think it, in a leadership sense, from the fact that we were losing, I think it probably is his best game for me. But I also think he was brilliant in the FA Cup final in '96 against Liverpool, which was a bit of a shit game, but he was brilliant. Do you think City have paid for no negative press, says Paul Hughes? I think client journalism exists. We see it at United all the time. But I can't say I notice any Man City press anyway. So to say I noticed that there's no negative press would be a bit of a hypocrite. Corner for Real Madrid, easily cleared by Saka. Free kick. Dawes says, do you go for English clubs in Champions League? No, not really. I wanted Real Madrid to beat Man City. And I wanted PSG to beat Liverpool because Liverpool's our biggest rival as a United fan. And obviously, I'm not a fan of Man City. But in this game, there's a few reasons why I'd like to see Arsenal win, really. Real Madrid dominate the Champions League, so it'd be nice to go into the semi-finals knowing that Real Madrid are out and can't win it, because I think it'll make it a bit more exciting. I do really like Real Madrid. I've got nothing against them, but I just think for the tournament it would be interesting. I think for the tournament, as a Premier League fan, it would be good for the Premier League to have a semi-finalist. I think we'll get the top 5 positions anyway, but I think it would be good to have an English team. And but I wouldn't want Arsenal to win it. I don't want Arsenal. I wouldn't go that far. Simon Hayes, thanks for your super chat. 62% of you would rather win the Champions League than the Premier League. I think there's a context to that. There might be an arrogance to it as well. I think it just depends. Like, you know, Man City had won the league so often that they wanted to win the Champions League. With United, would I rather win the Champions League than the Premier League? I think at the moment I really want us to win the Premier League. Lautaro Martinez has just kicked out at Harry Kane, but I don't think there's anything going to be done about it. Gets a foul there from Kimmich. Gets tripped up. Oh yeah, there's nothing in it. Nothing really. Play on, play on. William says, do you think Newcastle will get into the top 4? I think they'll get into the top 5. I think they're going to beat United on Sunday. Arsenal have just, you know what? I thought Arsenal started this quite well, but I think in the last sort of 15 minutes, they're not looking as much of a threat. And it's that starting to move towards Real Madrid, I think. And maybe that was a ploy by Real Madrid. You know, first 20 minutes, let's just settle into the game. And at the moment, Madrid are starting to just take a little bit of control. Jay Carr says, I don't think Newcastle will get Champions League. I think when you look at their running, mate, it's hard not to see where they're not going to win a lot of games. Do you remember the Nike World Cup commercial, the last game? Ironic how it's become a reality. Robotic players with media-trained personalities, is Ricky Spanish. A few people are saying the ref is on Madrid's payroll. Martinelli. Feed it, feed it. Oh, no. Rice is not... Rice has got to move that ball a bit quicker there. Lovely ball into Odegaard, though. Here's Odegaard. Into Saka. No one in the box for Arsenal at the moment. Saka's got it still. Does well. Cross! Oh, my God. If you had a striker, it would be 1-0. That is a tap-in. That is a tap-in. I mean, he's put it right across the face of the goal. Unbelievable. Lovely play by Saka, but nobody in the box. Nobody in the box at all. And that's not rocket science at all. But there's numerous Real Madrid defenders there who don't dare touch it, and there's no Arsenal player there for a tap-in. Incredible. But not surprising. Why is Saka limping already, says Dan? I don't think he's limping. I think he's just, since he's had the injury, he's just running like that. Goal! Inter! Inter have scored. Lautaro Martinez. Goldbridge did say Inter will knock out Bayern. Well, they're 1-0 up in the 37th minute. Lautaro Martinez. Kimmich is not happy. I'm just waiting for the replay. And it starts on the halfway line. He moves it out wide. Now he's on the move. Now he's on the move. Now he's on the move. Cross comes in. Might be an element of offside in this. Might be the assister might be offside. It's a shame because it's a good goal. Lovely finish with the outside of the boot. What a finish. That is a lovely finish as well. The technique on that from Martinez is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, he's given it. He was onside. Wow. Check that goal from Lautaro Martinez. Absolutely fantastic. To take it like that, lovely. How far do you think Villa will make it, says Jamie Hartley. I don't see them winning it. They've got a chance against PSG, but I think PSG look really good. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, no, I say I'm looking forward to it. I'm enjoying this one, but I am looking forward to that. Here's Saka again. Into Odegaard. Into Saka. Another... I mean, fucking hell. It's another really good cross. Saka should have 2 assists. It's crazy. He's putting the ball into the right areas. This is no bloody striker. I'm not joking. If you're not watching the Arsenal game or you are watching it, in the last 5 minutes, we've seen 2 perfect crosses from Saka and nobody is there. You just can't... You can't win games if you don't do that. Lautaro Martinez scored for Inter. And it is 1-0 in Germany, which is where the final is going to be played. Lovely ball. You feel that Bayern will punish, Bayern will punish Arsenal actually. What we had, 40 minutes. How far? I've done that one. Sorry, I was just catching up. There we go. Here's Saka again. He has been the threat. Cuts inside. And loses it. Look, I'm sure Arsenal will get a striker in the summer, but it's not going to help them this season, is it? Do Rio supporters really fork out money for that horrible jersey, says Kenneth? A lot of people like it, Kenneth. I'm going to close the poll. 61% would rather win the Champions League than the Premier League. There we go. Here's Saka again. He's getting more and more of the ball. Into Timber. The game has gone in waves the first half. I think the first 15 minutes, Arsenal looked pretty good progressively. And then in the last 10 minutes, they've been good. You'd expect that. They're quite evenly matched. I think it's a good game. I think it's an intriguing game. I think the jeopardy of it, you know, if Arsenal could knock Real Madrid out, it'd be massive, wouldn't it? Especially when people feel that Arsenal's season's over because they haven't won the Premier League and forget that they're in the Champions League. Would Xerxes or Rasmus get on the end of those crosses, says Jay. They don't get those sort of crosses in a Man United shirt, so they might. Good feet. Still on the edge of the box. Partey gets it wide. Timber. Crosses. Good! Good save. Martinelli. Good save. 2 good saves by Courtois. That's better. That's good. That's better. Cross came in from Timber. Moreno got his head on it. Courtois saves it. And then from a hard angle, Martinelli did get it on target, but Courtois was up to palm it away as well. Can Arsenal get one here before half-time? Odegaard. They're probably worthy of a goal, Arsenal, I think. They've certainly exposed holes in the Madrid back four. Here's Saka again. Another cross. And that's gone out for a goal kick. Can you do Beckenbauer versus Maldini, says Ty? I mean, I can, but I think it's very unfair because I didn't watch Beckenbauer, and I'm a firm believer that it's very difficult to... Yeah, I mean, I'm a chuff monster on this. I can only vote Maldini because that's the only player I've seen, and you know, you're gonna have to be over a certain age. I mean, I'm not a big fan of that as a poll, if I'm being honest. But it's been done. There we go. Arsenal class, a striker, and Madrid would be gone, says NAU. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Good play by Timber. 2 minutes added on. Odegaard. That's not going to go anywhere other than the keeper. Hi, Mark. It's my 31st birthday today, and I have this overwhelming feeling today that life is passing me by and I'm getting left behind. Any words of wisdom, says DV. Mate, 31 is no age. I hadn't even thought about doing YouTube or United Stand at 31. I've not even thought about it. So, and I've been doing this for 10 years, so life's not passing you by, mate. Enjoy it. Man of the match so far. I think the most dangerous player on the pitch at the moment is Saka. I mean, he's put in 2 wonderful crosses. But Madrid are on the attack at the end of the half. Camavinga shoots over the bar. That probably will be half-time. And it's just about to be half-time in the Bayern game. Sommer catches that. And it is half-time in both games. 0-0 at the Emirates. Arsenal probably just about deserve to be 1-0 up. Camavinga's won everything, says Robert McCormack. And Inter are 1-0 up. A lovely finish by Lautaro Martinez with the outside of his boot. So 1 goal in these 2 games so far. And yeah, been a good, intriguing game. But I do feel that Arsenal need to get that goal at some point. Wanyeri is a game changer, says Kay. Let's have a look at the stats, actually. They are on the screen. Just need to pause them, and then I can look at them. Otherwise, it's gone off now. Piece of shit. There we go. Give us your thoughts on that half. I think they've been quite evenly matched. Obviously, you'll get a different game next week. Home advantage helps. We can't dispute that, but where are we? There we are. Let's pause that. So yeah, Arsenal slightly more possession. Real Madrid have more shots, but Arsenal more on target. Similar on corners. Arsenal's pass accuracy of 93% is very, very good, actually. Real Madrid have made more tackles. So I think it's slightly in Arsenal's favour, which you might expect with them being at home. But they've not been... they've not been second best, really. I think it's been quite an equal game. And Stay Humble says Madrid look off it. I mean, the thing about Madrid is they've got an abundance of match winners, haven't they? Mohammed says, who are the best dribblers currently in Europe? Well, definitely Vinicious Junior. I think Dembele at PSG. Rodrigo at Real Madrid as well. Saka is very good at it at Arsenal. And Anthony. Madrid regret selling Odegaard 100%, says Lee Cape Town. Thank you very much for the super chat there. Who reckons Madrid and Barcelona would struggle in the Premier League, says VI Jokers? I think they might struggle with the intensity of the Premier League. I think across a whole season, their players wouldn't be used to that level of intensity, but I don't think they'd struggle for quality. And obviously, I think they'd adjust to the intensity quite quickly. Hi, Mark. Done that one from DV as well. Thanks, everyone who's tuning in. Please do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right-hand corner. We will be live for PSG versus Aston Villa tomorrow. And we're only 10 subscribers away from 314,000. So get involved with That's Football, daily content, and you're very welcome. Everybody's welcome on here. It's a general football channel, so get involved. But it's 0-0 between Arsenal and Real Madrid here at the moment. 74% have gone with Maldini over Beckenbauer. I apologise for that poll. It was requested, but who's going to vote Beckenbauer when most of us were not born when he played? It would be crazy if Villa win the Champions League, says Tag. I presume Barcelona are favourites to win it. From what I've seen of the Champions League so far, I get why people are saying Real Madrid or Barcelona, but from what I've seen so far, I don't think there's a standout definitive winner. I think if Inter catch Barcelona on the right day, they could beat them. And I think if PSG catch Real Madrid on the right day, they could beat them. So, look, we might end up with an El Clasico final, which I don't think has ever happened, and that would be pretty special. But I think it is quite an interesting tournament. I wouldn't mind PSG winning it as well, and I can't believe I'm saying those words, because a few years ago I would have said, PSG, all this money, and they can't buy the Champions League. But actually, I quite like the fact that they've moved away from the Mbappe, Neymar, Messi approach and actually built a team with Enrique that is quite a good team to watch. So I wouldn't be opposed to PSG winning it. Obviously, Barcelona are very exciting. Inter aren't a bad team to watch. I mean, I've seen Inter win the Champions League before. I've seen Barcelona win it before. I'd love Villa to win it. Bayern. I don't think Bayern are going to win it. Somebody just said, why don't you mention Bayern? I don't think Bayern are going to win it. I felt for a few years now that Bayern, whilst they're a big club and they've got some good players, I don't know what it is, but they just don't seem to me to be best in Europe contenders. Yeah. Villa will win it. You heard it here first. Martinez Ballon d'Or, says Cormac. Imagine your bench is United. Would you switch someone on Madrid's side for a United player based on how they're playing in this match? This is Andre. I don't know what that question means. Imagine your bench is United. Which would you switch someone on Madrid's side for a United player? What does that mean? Am I thick? Yeah, obviously. Would I swap a Madrid player from their bench for one of our bench players? Or I don't know what you're asking me there. It's Louis said, would you question Arteta if he doesn't win? No, mate, because look, we're watching the same game. I've said it all season. I said it to Robbie yesterday, and I'll say it to you now. If Arsenal had a striker, they'd be winning this game. Like Saka, who is obviously one of the best wingers in the Premier League and in Europe, he knows where to put the ball. He's not blindly putting those crosses in. He is at that level where he knows where to put the ball. He has put 2 crosses into exactly the right area for strikers to have tap-ins. And there's not an Arsenal player anywhere near it. So, yeah, I think that, yeah, if Arsenal had a striker, they'd be winning, in my opinion. But they're not going to get one before the summer. And I think Gyökeres will be a good one. Yeah. Sorry, I just lost the live chat. Emirate is a European tournament specialist, says Dead Zone. Look, you know what? I was thinking about this earlier. As much as Real Madrid will probably find a way to beat Arsenal, and as much as I think PSG are favourites to beat Villa because they've beaten Man City already this season and they've beaten Liverpool, I do remember the Chelsea-Liverpool 2-legged Champions League semi-final. And I do remember the Man United-Arsenal 2-leg Champions League semi-final. And there's something really special about all-English Champions League semi-finals. So I would love to see Arsenal-Villa in a semi-final. They're different. Like, people go, it's just like a Premier League game. It's not. They do feel different. And I think it would be great if we had that. But that's going to take some. It's not impossible, but that's going to take some, isn't it? Bellingham's job seems to be to double up on Saka, says NAU. I think Bellingham has been really quiet in this game, actually. And maybe, Ancelotti is a master tactician as well. And the times it works are incredible. So, what a miss this was by Kane. I've just seen it now. Elise plays him in. And he hits the outside of the post. He'd score that 99 times out of 100. I almost forgot Emery managed PSG, says Nigel. Thoughts on ice hockey, says Minty Sport. I do like ice hockey. I just don't have the time to watch it. Andre says, I was asking you if you would swap any player on the pitch from Madrid sides for a United player. I would say Bruno for Modric. Yeah, but Modric is 39, mate. I wouldn't swap a 30-year-old for a 39-year-old. I would swap Vinicious Junior for Garnacho. I would swap Mbappe for Rasmus. I would swap Rodrigo for Mount. I would swap Bellingham for Casemiro. I would swap Valverde for Eriksen. I would swap Rudiger for Maguire. I would swap Courtois for Onana. So I would swap Camavinga for Agate. I would swap most of their team for our team, to be honest. But there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, look at where Man United are. Look at where Real Madrid are. The other way round. Okay. Yeah, I probably would swap. I think Real Madrid would swap Modric for Bruno because of the age. 100%. 100%. Is there anyone else? Defensively, I would make a controversial statement that De Ligt would be better than some of the centre-backs that Real Madrid have got. But other than that, that's it. Maybe Mazraoui at the moment as well. But, yeah, there's nothing in our attack that's getting in there at the moment, is there? Villa were Champions League. We've done that from logic errors as well. Oh, Villa win Champions League. United win Europa. Rashford gets 2 medals. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Probably, yeah. Thank you very much for those super chats, by the way. 16,000 watching. Keep sharing the video. We are live for PSG versus Villa tomorrow night as well. And we'll be on the United stand for the Europa League. I was going to say that, actually. Weekend games. What's the story with the weekend games? I know Man United have got Newcastle on Sunday, the 13th, 4:30. Will I be doing any games on Saturday? The short answer is probably not. Man City Palace doesn't intrigue me. Brighton Leicester doesn't. Forest Everton doesn't. Southampton Villa doesn't. And Arsenal Brentford doesn't. I don't know. We'll see how I feel at the weekend. But, yeah. That's the trouble with the Premier League at the moment. There are certain games that are interesting and there are certain games that aren't. And look, I think the Premier League is... I tweeted this today, actually. I'll read this out to you and you can give me your thoughts. I don't even know. I've not even looked back at the tweet, so you can... I don't know whether it's gone down well or been ignored, but I basically said the Premier League needs to shape up. Relegation battle doesn't exist. Officiating is broken. Many teams are playing chess instead of expressive football, and passion has been diluted out of the game. The PR of the biggest league in the world won't last long if this continues. And I'm a big advocate of the Premier League. I think that it is the biggest league in the world, but you can't just be the biggest league in the world. Everything falls off, and I think the Premier League at the moment is really struggling with an identity crisis. I think the standard of the football isn't where it should be because everybody is playing quite robotic. The officiating is horrendous. Relegation doesn't actually exist. It almost is a Super League. And I think that it's starting to be picked up more and more. We don't have many individuals in the game. It's all about the managers and the way that they play. And look at the Premier League at the moment. You know, yeah, the top 5 race is interesting, but relegation's bloody boring. And Liverpool, although they have wobbled a bit, no one's anywhere near them. So they need to sort it out. They need to sort it out. Does Bellingham remind you of Brian Robson, says Mark Holder? I'm not old enough to remember Robson enough. I saw bits of Robson, but I think what I saw was more of the injury-prone Robson, to be honest. I've done that question, Rob, always United, thank you very much. Which 3 Newcastle players would you take at United, says William? Gordon, Isak, and... Oh, God, straight away I've gone with those 2. Bruno G. Yeah, those 3, yeah. How far away is United from Champions League qualification quarterfinals, says Minty? A long way. Yeah, a long way. Yeah. In years, mate, it could be 3, it could be 10, it could be 15. I don't know. I mean, when was the last time Man United were in a quarter-final of the Champions League? I know we did it with, didn't we do it with Moyes? Didn't Moyes take us to a quarter-final of the Champions League? I'm tempted to say Ollie did it as well, didn't he? 2019, yeah. Barcelona, Ollie. Yeah. Harder than a wedding night dick. PSG. Yeah, and we were embarrassed in that. We weren't ready for that either, were we? Up the Villa says, when do you see Man United going back to the amazing team they were? Look, we may never go back. We fell off because of the owners, and we may never get back. No one's got a divine right to get back. I don't believe in cycles. Cycles are the excuse of a coward. The world's not just going to suddenly go, now it's your turn, Man United. Cycles don't exist. What happens is teams fall off and then put the right structures in place to come back. Man United haven't put the right structures in place yet. Why was Asensio's handball not called? Also, did you see the Inter goal? It was world class. I did, Connor. It was a lovely finish. The handball was not a handball from Real Madrid. The ball hit his hand from a metre away. Definitely got that right. Not a handball. Players are just coming out for the second half. Let me get this stats carousel running around. Someone has just asked in the chat. There we go. Henry or Mbappe, says Seamus Grant. Forget it. It's not even going to do a poll. Easily, Henry. Easily. They're back up and running in the Inter game. Still waiting for the Arsenal players. Real Madrid players. Here we go. Right, here we go. Second half. Waiting for the ref. We go. Thanks for your super chat, Jojo. He says quality and quantity of the average player has gone up while the quantity of top quality players has gone down, which explains the Prem for me, says Jojo. I disagree. Because I don't actually think the Ginolas, the Henrys, the Gareth Bales, the Matt Letizier's, I don't see them players anymore. Then it's not like every team's got 5 or 6 of them. Players aren't told to express themselves anymore. They're told to pass the ball. Question to anybody right now. Prediction, who gets Champions League spots next season, says Jokers. There you go. Get your top 5 in. Thank you very much for your super chat, pal. Arsenal on the attack here. It's Rice. It's Moreno. And it's cleared. Can you be a legend with no or very little trophies? Says Tapping Merchant. Well, Brian Robson's a legend at Man United, and the Premier League he got was basically at the end of his career when he wasn't really playing. Obviously, he won a couple of FA Cups as well. Steven Gerrard never won the Premier League, so yeah, it can. Harry Kane's a legend at Spurs. The only cup he had there was a cup of tea. Unbeaten Legend is listening from Iceland on holiday. There's Gabriel sitting down. Hi, Mark. Do you think Sir Jim would walk away should it become too much for him? And do you think the Glazers will ever relinquish control? No and no, Yusuf. I don't think they're going anywhere. Piotr says, anyone answer me, bro? I just need to know why he can't show us the game. Because as brilliant as this community is and as amazing it is, we do not have exclusive Champions League rights, which cost hundreds of millions of pounds. Be great one day, but not at the moment. I feel like Arsenal, well, it's an obvious statement here, but I feel like Arsenal need to get something out of this. I think Madrid would be very happy to take it back 0-0. Look, Madrid have shown a bit of respect to Arsenal, if we're being honest. It's something that they did against Man City at the Etihad, you know, soak up the pressure and look to break, and they've certainly got the players to do it. Now it's Martinelli on the left-hand side. That's a crap cross, really, isn't it? That is a crap cross from that position. Thank you for all the content, mate. Has someone been sucking on your neck? Where? Someone said this to me the other day. I can't see. It was my birthday yesterday. Anyway, Robson, the first player to lift the FA Cup 3 times, says Holder. Appreciate that. Met you after the Baller League last night. Thanks for the photo, Mark, says HHFM. Nice to meet you, mate. I obviously don't know which one you were, but I did meet a few people afterwards, but everyone was fantastic, so there we go. Madrid on the attack here. Jaco, thanks for your super chat. He says, do you think if the Premier League and the Champions League only did promotion relegation every 2 seasons, there would be a better chance one of the 3 that came up could have done enough to stay up? It's very predictable now. I don't think doing it every 2 seasons will make any difference, mate. I mean, we will get a promoted team that stays up at some point, but it's probably going to be a Birmingham City or a Wrexham. It's got to be someone who's got money to go, we're going to stay in the Premier League, because at the moment, Burnley and Sheffield United are coming straight back down. Like they've not even been promoted and they're coming straight back down. Mbappe's just hit the side netting. It was a half decent chance, but I wouldn't have expected him to score from there. Leeds, even though Leeds might not get promoted, I still don't. I wouldn't say I'm definitely relegating them yet, but. Yeah, it's such a shame. I saw it coming as well. I said last year this is going to keep happening, and someone said, it's the first time in years that we've had 3 up, 3 down. I said, I bet it'll happen next year. And it did. God, there's loads of Women's Nation League games tonight. Okay, here's the Championship. Leeds are winning 1-0 at Middlesbrough. Sheffield United are losing at home to Millwall. Burnley are drawing with Derby. Minnie Minter's a Leeds fan. Dante, I don't think it was a penalty for Arsenal. Here's Vinicious Junior on the break. They've got to be careful here. Mbappe. Quick feet. Rodrigo. Mrs. Stone says Bournemouth seem to be doing well since promotion. Bournemouth, Brentford, Fulham, Nottingham Forest, they've all come up and stayed up, you know, in recent years. Mark Holder says, you may have noticed Brian Robson is my hero, says Mark. Look, I didn't see enough of Robson's career to know, but I know people like who did see it, and they tell me he was better than Keane, and Keane's one of my favourite players, so Robson must have been bloody amazing. NT says, I genuinely haven't noticed Bellingham tonight. Well, I said that at half time. I haven't, and we're watching the bloody game. I haven't noticed him at all. Mark says, I really like your glasses. Yeah, they are probably the best glasses I've had. It's the first time I bought a pair of glasses and thought, you know what, I do wear them a lot streaming. Maybe I should get something that's a little bit different. RS9 says, I pray one promoted team stays up next season. Well, so do I, because otherwise, if you are West Ham, United, Spurs, Wolves, and every other team that's not had a good season, you know you can have a bad season and you're still going to stay up. It's basically a Super League, isn't it? I told you Inter are going to not buying out. There's still a long way to go, but this is the away leg, remember? They're in again. This could be 2. Good save by Neuer. EFCs, do you think Southampton will break Derby's record? No, I think Derby will still have the worst record. They only need 2 points, don't they? I thought it was Neuer. It's not Neuer, sorry. It's Erbig. Oh, Sane, good block. Kane, good block. Cleared. A few people saying it should have been a handball in the first half. I disagree, but look, don't take my word for it. You know, you're entitled to say it was a penalty, and you're right, and I'm right as well. Nobody understands the bloody handball rule. That's the point. I don't understand the red card rule anymore. I don't understand handball anymore. I don't know what a foul is anymore. Declan Rice, good block, corner. Tapping Merchant says, thoughts on bailiff or a debt collector as a career? You do you, mate. FA Cup winner prediction poll. Palace fan, says Kim. Man City, unfortunately. Fred says, Arsenal are boring to watch. If Arsenal had a striker, they'd be 2-0 up and it'd be a very different game, mate. Do I think Salah will get the Ballon d'Or? No, James, no. Not now. I think if you want the Ballon d'Or, you've got to win the. You've got to be doing well in the Champions League. Hey, if you think Arsenal are a hard watch without a striker, Amrim's Reds, you've got to be a certain age here. But obviously, I love football, and I've always watched football. And when I was in how old would I have been? I would have been about 11, 12, 13 or whatever. Early 90s anyway. And you used to get, obviously there wasn't as many European Cup games because I think it was only the champions who played in it or whatever. And anyway, Wednesday night you'd have, it might have been called Champions League then, to be fair. What point did they change the name of the Champions League from the European Cup? Anyway, Wednesday would be European Cup or Champions League. Tuesday would be UEFA Cup. And Thursday night would be Cup Winners' Cup. And it would be on the telly. And we didn't get loads of games on the telly then because it was the early days of Sky. So if it was live football, everybody watched it. And there was one, I think it was Cup Winners on a Thursday night. Cup Winners' Cup. George Graham, Arsenal. Oh, my God. You'd watch it because it was football and there wasn't a lot of live football, but they were unbelievable to watch in a bad way. It was George Graham, Arsenal. It was Tony Adams and everyone else at the back. And it was, they beat everybody 1-0 across 2 legs. So it'd be 0-0, 1-0. And goal! Arsenal! Bloody hell! We're talking about that. And it's Declan Rice. Rice, baby. Arsenal lead against Real Madrid. Big moment. Courtois doesn't look happy. But to be honest with you, in the context of the game, I think Arsenal deserve it. I think they've been knocking on the door. They've been missing a striker. And Rice has struck here. He struck gold for the Arsenal. It's a belter. An absolute belter. Bellingham Well, he's been very quiet. What a free kick. Oh, the curl on that. There's so much curl on it. It's a brilliant free kick, that. Look at the curl on that. That is good. For a Champions League goal, that is good. What a free kick. Magnificent. Now it's game on. Fantastic goal. 1-0. And we've still got half an hour to go. The curl on it's brilliant. Declan Beckham, says Richard. Well, Beckham didn't really take him like that. You know, to go round the wall, not over the wall. It's crazy, says Sherman. Yeah, you don't see many like that. Carlos. Riceberto Carlos. Doesn't really work, does it? Well, this changes the game now because obviously Real Madrid have been playing counter. Now Arsenal can play counter. I mean, imagine if they could take a 2-0 lead. Robson easily in the top 5 English players, says Mark. Appreciate your super chats, Mark, tonight. There it is, the free kick again. Look at that, more curl than a banana. Right, they've got to defend well now. Cross comes in. Oh, straight at the keeper for Ray. It's a pet there. Hey, look, I've said Inter will beat Bayern and Arsenal will beat Real Madrid. So let's see. It's a long way to go. Long way to go. Real Madrid in the Champions League as well. They are wily. They are experienced. Bend it like Declan, says Doogie. Lovely free kicks. I mean, that's what we're watching football for. You know, we're watching football for things like that. To see a free kick that's a little bit different, you know. Tag says this won't be an upset. There is no underdog in my opinion. Well, it would be an upset because look at Real Madrid's recent and long history in this tournament. They are the GOATs of the Champions League and the European Cup. So whether Real Madrid are as good as they have been, well, look at the La Liga. They're not, but they're still Real Madrid in the European Cup and their reputation precedes them. Arsenal have no reputation in the European Cup. They've never won one. Lovely ball by Declan Rice. Here's Odegaard. Goes to Saka. That's the ball. And again, wins a corner. If you could steal one Arsenal player and put them at United, who would it be? Look, I think there's a few from Arsenal that would improve a lot of teams, but I think specifically at United, Saka would probably be my number one. I mean, I think Declan Rice would improve the midfield. Obviously, Saliba would improve our centre-backs. But, yeah, I think I'd have to go Saka. Raya would be way better than anything we've got in goal as well. Vinicious Junior is getting a bit of stick in the chat. It's not been his best night, but, look, I'm not one of these modern football fans who sees Salah have a bad couple of games and says he's shit. You know, you build your reputation on, you know, a back catalogue of games, and he's certainly got those. But yeah, you know, not everybody plays well every game. Wolf says, "Do you think one goal will be enough?" Absolutely not. It's better than 0-0 or 1-1. You know, if you're Arsenal, you want to go to Spain knowing that Real Madrid are going to attack you and leave space at the back for the counter. If they can get 2, even better. But certainly 1 goal. Good shot there, just over the bar from Bayern. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. We've got 25 minutes to go in this game. And Yusuf says Madrid will probably turn it around in the second leg. Oh, mate, it'll be a different game in the second leg, but, you know. Madrid in the box, cleared away by Rice. Ute Hube says, scrapping the away goals was daft. Peter says, Vinny has been better than Bellingham, didn't even realise he was playing. Well, they'll probably come into the game more now because, to be honest, I think the game plan from Ancelotti has been to keep it tight and take it back to Spain, which some people do. I mean, like I was taught, I've got my own thoughts on United against Lyon. We're in Lyon on Thursday, aren't we? And I don't think we should go for the keep it tight angle. I think we should try and score goals. But a lot of teams do it in Europe. The away leg, they'll try and keep it tight and then take it back home, second leg, and play it out in front of your own fans. Real Madrid now will open up a little bit more. Yeah, Bellingham's been doubling up a lot with Alaba against Saka. Not always effectively, but that's obviously the plan. It's good to see Bellingham doing a bit of defensive work as well, because I think we've... Oh, lovely ball. Rice can't get it out of his feet. That could have been another chance. Yeah, I think with Bellingham sometimes we see him playing advanced a lot. Another free kick there. If Arsenal win, it confirms a 5th spot as Champions League, says James. We're going to get that anyway, mate. We'll get the 5th spot this year. Even if both Villa and Arsenal get knocked out, we'll get it through Chelsea and probably United or Spurs. Ooh, in the Europa League. I saw someone in the Conference League the other day that I thought might actually give Chelsea a run. Who was it? There's someone in the Conference League, and I thought, you know what, they might give Chelsea a game. Betis, Real Betis, that was it. Yeah. Oh, lovely play by Lewis Skelly. Martinelli. Oh, wow. Courtois, 2 big saves and 1 off the line. That could have been it. Arsenal could have been 2 up. We might be coming back to this next week. Great save. Great block. 1 from Martinelli. Courtois saves it. Moreno hits it, blocked. And then he hits it again. And oh my God, I can't believe that. Brilliant by Alaba as well. And then Courtois gets up, saves it again. That could have been it. Another corner for Arsenal. In it comes. Courtois punches away. Declan Rice. Another clearance off the line. Bloody hell. Arsenal here. Will they rue this? So many chances. Their tails are up now. Like a proud horse. Here's Saka. Lovely play. Should have given the foul. He has given the foul. It's another free kick. Marcus says, I feel a bit sorry for Liverpool getting PSG. What's the point of trying to top the new format, says Marcus. Yeah, well, we've got year 2 coming up, haven't we, of the Champions League format, which I'm not actually convinced is good, but, you know. Bloody hell, what's that? I'll have a look at that. Play down for Arsenal here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Oh, my God. That looks so good. I'm just looking at... It's just flashed up on YouTube. Manchester United versus Tottenham with Mark Goldbridge from 4 years ago. With the green screen and everything. It looks quite good. We were the goats. We were the goats. Wonder if I can show it you. Probably can. Yeah, player down. Good free kick opportunity here. Look at that. That's mad, because that's like... No, the free kick's coming in here. That is like... Oh! Oh my God! This isn't real! This isn't real! This isn't real! This isn't real! This is unreal! Oh my God! What am I watching? He scored! He scored! Oh my God! A different type of free kick. What is Declan Rice doing? What is... Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's 2-0. Oh my God. Bend it like Declan. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I just literally don't think I can even remember 2 free kicks by the same player in a game of this magnitude anyway. But they are both amazing free kicks. Just very rarely in my life of watching football do I get speechless. And I'm not speechless, but I am impressed. I'm very, very impressed. 2 goals, 2 right foot curlers against the best goalkeeper in the world. Let's not forget that. The best goalkeeper in the world. And he's beat him with 2 absolutely stunning right foot curlers. Different types of curlers as well. And on top of that, has just given Arsenal a foot into the semi-final of the Champions League. Top bins on that one as well. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And somebody in the first half said Declan Rice is having a bad game. Jinx me. Beckham Rice, he's been magnificent, says Zepho. Declan Rice, we got him half a price. I mean, look, mate, he's worth 100 million quid for scoring 2 goals against Real Madrid in a Champions League quarter-final. You don't save those. He obviously really likes that Champions League ball because the way he's hit them, look, it ain't easy to do. The first one ain't easy to do, to bend it round the wall like that and back in. And that one ain't easy to do as well. It's not easy to do that. If it was, people will be doing it every game. Like I say, I've seen Del Piero, I've seen, you know, Baggio, I've seen these players score free kicks on the regular. Beckham, you know, on the regular. I haven't seen it very often in a game of this magnitude where it's the only 2 goals in the game and it's 2 banging free kicks by the same player in the space of 10 minutes. That's we're witnessing something very special here tonight that we'll talk about for the future, and that's what I love about football. You know, we talk about the Premier League and it's losing its glamour. Always puts a smile on my face when we watch something now and go, we'll remember that. We'll remember those 2. We'll remember this moment, and we will. We will. We've just witnessed footballing history there. Like, we will remember that. Saka's gone off. That's why you spend the big bucks, yeah. Take notice, Sir Jim. Um, 22,000 watching as well. Special night. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have witnessed something very, very special there from Declan Rice and from Arsenal. I mean, this tie... Well, it's there, isn't it? It's there. We'll always remember this match like Jack Wilshere versus Barca, says Nath Footy. Look, Real Madrid are capable of getting back into this, but could Arsenal... Oh, my God! Oh, my God! It's 3-0. It's Moreno. This could be over. This tie could be over. What am I seeing? Ah! I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Moreno into the bottom corner. What the hell is going on? What's going on? What's going on? Absolutely incredible. They won't be coming back. Well, they could still come back from this. In Spain, they could. But who saw this, says Sam. I saw it. I saw it. I didn't see 3-0. I didn't see 3-0, but I did say Arsenal. I've been saying it for weeks. I did say I can see Arsenal doing it. Arteta! Oh, God, they'll be crying. They'll be absolutely devastated, won't they? Arteta! Arteta! They'd have been waiting for this for weeks. Could be an element of offside, Trossard. I don't think he is. They could have scored 6 as well. When you think about the 2 crosses from Saka in the first half and the saves that Courtois has made, it actually could be 6. The curl on that as well. What a finish by Moreno. That finish is magnificent. They don't need a striker. It's 3-0. There's no offside. Unbelievable. Do you think it's game over? No. No, I don't. I don't, because I've seen things happen before, like PSG, Barcelona. But I think Arsenal need to go and get another one, and then it is over. When you've got curls like that, you don't need it. You really don't. 3-0 Arsenal. And it, you know, the scary thing is it could be 6. Two goals for Rice, 1 goal for Moreno, all of them fantastic curlers. I mean, Rice's 2 free kicks were brilliant. But the reality is as well, we've seen 3 really good goals, but Courtois has made a number of good saves. He made a double save at 0-0 about 10 minutes ago. Like, if they had a striker, they'd be 9-0 up. Real Madrid are on the bloody ropes here. And I always say this as well. Lots of people said Bayern will win and Real Madrid will win. And yet Inter, I said, watch out for Inter. They're winning 1-0 in Germany. And, oh, well, Arsenal are 3-0 up here at home. Is the Premier League better than La Liga? It's too early to say that, but you can't judge these leagues until they play against each other. You can't. And we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Look, the reason I think Villa will struggle against PSG potentially is because we've seen PSG play Liverpool, and there was a big, we've seen that. But when it comes to La Liga, we'll have to wait and see. Oh, look at them free kicks. Look at them free kicks. Declan Rice, well, he's definitely getting man of the match, isn't he? Let's be clear. Thanks for the super chat, Jamar. He says, going to Madrid up 2 would make Arteta want to attack and put the tie to bed. But being up 3 might make him defensive, and that could be dangerous, says Jamar. Yeah. Look, there's still time to go in this game, so we can't start predicting the future. But how would you approach the second leg if you had a three goal gap? My approach would be to utilise the likes of Martinelli and Saka on the break in a game like that, because look, it Rice is coming off here. It's not impossible in the modern game to see, especially when it's Real Madrid or Barcelona, it's not impossible to lose the first leg 3-0 and, they get 3-0 and take you to extra time there and beat you. So it's not over yet, but you couldn't have imagined a better scoreline if you're an Arsenal fan. You couldn't have imagined it. Well, you probably could, but that'd be greedy. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I was showing people this, and then Declan Rice scored. This was this came up on my. Look at that. That's the watch-alongs we were doing 4 years ago. That's all green screen, and me inserted in. We did do good. We did good stuff. That was good. That was like 4.5 years ago. I never look back on it. I'm very proud of that. The way it was all dimensions and everything. Even the chair behind me wasn't real on that. Anyway, let's get back to the game. Yeah, 3-0. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't think Declan Rice is injured. I think he's going to be fine. The worrying thing about Real Madrid is they lost to Valencia at the weekend. They're probably not going to win La Liga, and they've not been very good in this game. Like, they haven't been very good. There's two, 3, 4, 5 absolute argument best players in the world in that Real Madrid team and in their positions, and they're just not, they've not done anything. Here's Rodrigo. And they're not going to get anything from that either. Yeah, still 1-0 in Bayern, in Munich against Inter. This is sponsored by Ambrosia. Rice, baby, says Bojam. Philippe says, good evening, Mark. What do you think of Tim, the young prospect of PSV? Is a young, exciting right back at PSV, says Philippe. I don't know anything about him, mate, unfortunately. Tiki-taka football is dying. Get in the bin, says Wheelbarrow. The night of the curls, says DJ. It's another corner for Arsenal here. It's not, you know, it's not over yet. Could be more. Harry Ashton says, do you think there's too many cooks in the kitchen at Real? I think that look, we do a lot. Oh, 1-1. Müller. Bayern goal. We watch a lot of Champions League football on That's Football, and obviously Real Madrid last year winning the Champions League, I felt that the Mbappe signing might disrupt things. I think the way they worked last year with almost like Rodrigo and Vinicious Junior as a front two with Bellingham behind, it worked. You add Mbappe into that, and it's like, are they defensively going to be a bit vulnerable? Is it going to disrupt their front three? They're not going to win La Liga. They might not be winning the Champions League. So therefore, have they weakened their team by bringing Mbappe in? Probably. Unmarked on the back post there, Müller. Very surprising to see Inter switch off like that. Absolute tapping on the back post. Retiring at the end of the year. It's all going on tonight. Inter would still take 1-1 in the first leg, though, wouldn't you? How old's Müller? Yeah, he's 58 now. Still tapping. You just stand there and use it. You never lose it. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, 21,000 of you. What a night it's been. Very happy for Arsenal, says Mohammed. Need a different winner for the Champions League, and congratulations to Birmingham. They got promoted tonight. Tonight was the night for Birmingham City. They're off to Wembley on Sunday as well. Three brilliant goals by Arsenal, though. Really well taken. And the funny thing is, they're still attacking. Trent looking at this thinking, what have I done, says Fraser. He might not have done it yet. Goals from Müller and Rice, says Ollie P. Who would have thought it? Good one, Ollie. What we got? We've only got 5 minutes. The game has flown by as well. It has flown by. Do you think Will is out celebrating, says Nath? I know he was at the game. It was at Peterborough. I mean, I knew Birmingham were getting promoted the day they got bloody relegated, but you know, it'd be very interesting to see if they can get. I think they might double dip, double bounce, go straight up next year as well. I'm happy for them, you know. Football is about nights like this, isn't it? It's the romance of it. It's the enjoyment of it. And I think that Inter have scored again. Oh, they've done it again. They've restored their lead. They've had to defend a lot. Müller equalised. And a couple of minutes later, someone's got their top off. 2-1. I told you. Arsenal were going to win and Inter were going to win. Well, I don't bet, so. I haven't seen the goal. Let's have a look. Sommer rolls it out. Nice little play by Latoro. Numbers. Yeah, he's onside. Oh, what a goal. Lovely goal. Really good. I mean, I tell you what, if you want to see a goal that's a team goal from back to front, check out that Inter goal. Lovely. From keeper to back of the net. Lovely goal. Lovely goal. Well, I agree with Jack. Inter are a proper team this season. They are. They're a threat. They are a threat. The danger is if, and it's a big if Real Madrid get knocked out, people will start going, it's our year. But Inter are decent. PSG, Villa, whoever comes through that will be a threat. So Inter, if they get past Bayern, threat. It's not... People will start going Arsenal, Barcelona final. Not necessarily. It's a very intriguing Champions League. Lots of people saying we want 4. Look, I understand the greed, but don't get lost on the fact that 3-0 against Real Madrid, you'd have been absolutely ecstatic with, and it's been thoroughly deserved. And it could have been 4 or 5. It could have been when you think about some of the chances and some of the saves. But, 3-0, if they can get 3-0, which they should do. No Gabriel and still a clean sheet. Arsenal still a very good defensive side, even without Gabriel. Linda says it's a dangerous score. It is a dangerous score because it sounds great, but if Real Madrid get a goal, and don't even need an early goal, if they get a goal in the first 40 minutes, first half, you get a goal in the first half, you still got 45 minutes, get a second goal, and then it's really squeaky bum time. So look, 3-0 in Madrid, it's amazing, but it's not undoable. And I think, somebody said it in the chat, they've got to have a game plan. They've got to have a game plan to score themselves. Real Madrid are going to attack a lot. You've got to have a game plan, composure. If I was Arteta, I'd be thinking, look, we are going to concede. Of course, we're probably going to concede a couple. We might concede 3, but we're probably going to concede 2. So I need to score 1. I need to score at least 1 to take the pressure off. So he's got to go with a game plan to score goals. Yeah. You can't just sit back and defend and then go, shit, we need to attack. The worst thing you can do is just go total defence with not really much of an attacking plan and then realise you've got to attack. Bayern are pushing here. How bad was the Saka injury? I don't think he was injured. I think it was minutes, wasn't it? Saka didn't go off injured, did he? I think it was a managing minutes, maybe. Four minutes added on. And 4 minutes added on in the Bayern game as well. He did go off injured. Okay. Ankle injury. Okay. Well, somebody says Marky hobbled off. He's hobbling all the bloody time. He was hobbling against Everton. Jesus is better than Vinicious Junior when he's fit. We are now the best team in Europe, says Zane. There we go. Love a Zane hype message. They're so smart, these Arsenal players. They make the right passes, dummies, never shoot wildly. I can only dream we have that at United, says Nick P. Yeah, but people take the piss out of Arsenal, don't they? What do you think about teams like Arsenal and the fact they are just going to keep getting better while we bank our future on Delap and youth? Exactly, I agree. Grinders, I agree. Yeah. They're probably going to bring Gyökeres into this squad. And maybe Zubimendi as well. Honourable mention for Kivior as well, says BH. Yeah, he's done well. Arteta must feel like a total boss right now, says Mohammed. Kevin says that Fratesi for Inter will miss the second leg for taking his shirt off. I just get stupid, don't it? I remember Darren Fletcher missing the bloody final for a stupid bloody suspension that he never should have got. about done in Bayern. They're literally in to stop past the 4 minutes. Kimmich puts the cross in. They clear it away. I think that's going to be it. Real Madrid on the attack in the Emirates. Matthew says, I've missed the entire thing. What on earth has happened? But this is why you need to be on That's Football when I tell you to, because we've witnessed one of the great Champions League games tonight. 2 fucking brilliant free kicks from Declan Rice and a very good finish from Moreno. But on top of that, also, penalty. Oh, I thought he might have given it. Mbappe. I tell you what, maybe the referee's not on the take because I thought he was going to give that. Yeah, it's been a brilliant Champions League night. And the context of it being Arsenal, who've never won a Champions League, against the Real Madrid side that's the Champions League side. Camavinga's just been sent off as well. Inter have won. Camavinga's been sent off. I mean, that's like another goal. They won't have Camavinga in the second leg. That's kicking the ball away. Well, to be fair, they do say that things have a way of equaling themselves out, and I'm sure Real Madrid fans will be bloody fuming. But from an Arsenal point of view, when you think of Declan Rice and Trossard and their red cards this season, maybe you look at that and go, look, you know, we were due one of those going our way. Yeah, where's Valverde? Yeah, he's still there, isn't he? I thought he'd been subbed off. I mean, this is the thing. Bellingham obviously been very quiet. I thought they took Valverde off. I think Tchouaméni must be injured because he's not on the bench and he didn't start. So I'm just thinking who will play. They've got Valverde, they've got Modric, they've got Bellingham, but he was suspended already, apparently. Tchouaméni's suspended. He'll be back next week. Yeah, but Camavinga's a good player, isn't he? Camavinga's better than Tchouaméni. And it's over! It's 3-0 to Arsenal. It's not job done. It's not job done, but it's bloody job getting close to be done. They were brilliant, absolutely brilliant, Arsenal. You can't argue with it, and why would you? They've thoroughly deserved it. 3 cracking goals. You know what? If I'm being honest, looking at the stats, 11 shots on target for Arsenal to Real Madrid's 3. I mean, it probably should have been 4. At 0-0 at half-time, I said it should have been 1-0 to Arsenal. So I think 4 would have been the right score. You take 3. It could have been 6. But I think 4-0 was probably the right score based on the game. But they'll take 3. They'll take 3, 100%. You take 2. You take 1. Do you think it's over? I don't want to jinx Arsenal. I don't want to jinx them because I genuinely think it should be over. But I've seen many times in football before that isn't always the way that it pans out. So yeah, you got to be a little bit wary of that. But yeah, I think we're in for a very, very, very exciting game next Wednesday night. And of course, we're back tomorrow night for PSG against Villa, which I always thought was going to be the more open game. Villa do play quite openly. PSG do as well. So I think tomorrow night's going to be brilliant. But please jinx them, says Fennec. Yeah, I think Arsenal are through. I think they are through. I'll tell you why I think they're through. I think Inter will... I said it, I think Inter will not buy an out, and I'm bloody convinced that's going to happen now. And I said I thought Arsenal would knock Real Madrid out, and I'm bloody convinced that's going to happen now. Because I think Arsenal don't look scared of Real Madrid. And Real Madrid don't look like they can deal with Arsenal when they attack. And they've got to attack. So as long as Arteta goes, look, we're not just sitting in, we're countering, I fancy Arsenal to score out there. Unless they The only way Arsenal blow this is if they go over there and are like rabbits in the headlight and completely freeze. But I don't think they will. I think this Arsenal team's been growing for years. I think they'll do it. But at least I've explained it. But I thought they were going to do it anyway. I did. And I actually want them to do it because I think it will be a really exciting Champions League if we've got Inter, probably Barca, Villa or PSG, and Arsenal in it. So, yeah. Are you going to do the Lazio game on Thursday, says Daniel? I'm doing the bloody Man United game. Man United, aren't I? Man United against Lyon. Bet the Arteta outers are calling him a genius now, says Johnny. Look, I don't get that. I've always been, this channel, the videos I've done, always been a big conveyor of what Arteta's doing. I've seen the gradual growth. I've never understood the Arteta. I never understood it because I could see it. Maybe sometimes you need to stand back and not be an Arsenal fan to see it, but I could see what he was doing. First few months, win the FA Cup survival. Then he started bringing the players in. Then the system started working. Then the young players became more experienced, comparable to some experienced players that were already there. Then some signings were good. Then they're in a title race again and again and again. And, you know, people want to say Arsenal are bottlers, this, that and the other. They need a bloody striker. They've also had a couple of bad injuries this year to the likes of Saliba and Odegaard. They've also had some ridiculous decisions go against them. Liverpool deserve to win the league, but this is the Champions League. They were never out of the Champions League. They were out of the title race, yeah, but they were never out of the Champions League. And the Champions League is a cup competition. And in a cup competition, you've got a chance. You're not out of it. You know, you don't lose points and you're out of it. So they've always been in the Champions League and they're a very good defensive side. They don't concede many goals. In the Premier League, they've got the best defence. They've got a very good defence. And in Europe, you're not playing Fulham, Chelsea and all these teams. You're playing this country's team, that country's team. And you don't know until you play them how good La Liga is comparable to the Premier League. You might be second, miles behind Liverpool in the Premier League, and you might play Barcelona. You might be better than them. You might be better than Inter. And we don't know until they play each other. And we say this every year, and this is why I find it very exciting. Bayern Munich, very good team in Germany. Inter, very good team in Italy. Who's stronger this year? Is it the Bundesliga or is it the Italian league? Second place, Arsenal against second place, Real Madrid. La Liga, Premier League. Who's the best second place team? Is it La Liga? You know, and we've seen tonight, there's still a second leg to go, but Real Madrid are not, oh, it's Real Madrid. They're going to absolutely wipe the arse with Arsenal. You know, it's not quite gone that way. So, look, a lot of people think Barcelona are going to win the Champions League. Maybe they do. Maybe they are the best team, but maybe Inter do it. Maybe Arsenal do it. Maybe Real Madrid will bounce back and do it. You know, Real Madrid have pulled themselves out of the fire many times over the years. So but I just think it was a great game. This is why we do That's Football. It's an amazing community. And yeah, look, if you don't like Arsenal, you're not going to enjoy that. But to be honest, I did want to see an English team in the semi-final. And it would be great to have Villa Arsenal as a semi-final. You know, we've seen some great all-English Champions League semi-finals over the years. Maybe Villa can do it as well. But yeah, those free kicks from Declan Rice, I think we'll remember that for a long time because they were brilliant free kicks. But also to get two in the same game, back to back, in a game of that calibre and importance, we'll remember those, and it's a special night. Enjoyed it. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe. Actually, we've got a redirect on the show tonight because Terry, who did the watch-along for us a couple of weeks ago, he's live doing his match reaction, so there's more chat going on there if you fancy it. And I'm back tomorrow on here with PSG against Villa in Paris, isn't it? It's Paris tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.